All right, questions for Garen Caulfield.
How did you and your teammates monitor yesterday when they were revealing the top 16? Were you looking at social media?
Yeah, I think most of us just saw it on whether it be Instagram or Twitter or whatnot. We were all just kind of relaxing. We had just got home from down in Scottsdale, so yeah, we were all by ourselves and just enjoying our own time.
Would you say that you expected to be a host based on your resume?
I don't think we expected it. You know, we of course hoped to play some more games here at High Corbett, and I think that's going to be a really big experience for not only us as a program, but our fans here in Tucson.
When you see Grand Canyon up on the board across from you, what goes through your mind?
That we're just familiar with them. We know they're a really good team, and they're super. They got a lot of vets, and their team has played a lot of college baseball and has a lot of experience. So they're going to be a good team to play.
Did it just kind of feel like everyone knew that they were going to end up down here?
Yeah, it kind of seemed like that, but I mean, regardless of who was put in our regional, we knew it was going to be good baseball, and we're ready for that.
What are the elements that go into these walk-off victories that you guys have? How do you, through the course of a game, what does it take to pull that off?
I think just like a next pitch mindset. You know, like a perfect example is the other day in the final game in Scottsdale. We didn't have a hit through, I don't know what it was, six or seven innings, and we're just relentless. You know, we never felt like we were out of the game. Walty did a great job keeping us in the game, like our pitching staff has done all year, and that's definitely a huge part of it. And I think just being resilient and just knowing that whatever happened in the past is the past, and that we just got to focus on winning every pitch.
What do you like about it? It seems like, I mean, we've had a core of guys that have been a part of these, but like, you know, Tommy Splain, a guy that can come in and really provide in those types of situations.
Yeah, I think we've done a good job proving that, you know, whether it be the first hitter in the order or the ninth hitter, like it's we have the trust in each one of us, and that anyone could be the hero that night. And I think I've said that in one of my interviews before, but it could be a new hero any day.
In that comeback, you had a sac fly, Blake had a sac fly. It seems like a lot this year you guys have been getting the positive, productive outs kind of thing. And in a situation like that, is it a matter of you don't want to do too much, you know what the bare minimum is you need to get a run in?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously, like the momentum of the crowd and everything, it'd be awesome to hit a huge double in the gap or something. But, you know, I went up there, it was first and third, and tying run was on third base, and I was just trying to get something in the air to the outfield. And that was a really good pitcher that they brought in to face me and the next couple of guys. And I think we had a good plan off him going in based off what we saw in the regular season. But, yeah, I mean, I think that's what makes up the offense is we're not just going to sit here and hit a bunch of home runs and a bunch of doubles and score that way. Like, we have to show the ability to, you know, get a sac bunt down, get a safety down, to hit a sac fly in a big situation like that. So I think that's something that we've built on growing throughout the year.
You guys faced Dallas Baptist earlier this season there in your regional as well. How has your team changed since that time?
To be honest with you, we went down to Frisco and we knew we were playing a lot of good teams, and we played in a bunch of close games. And Coach DeMello has told us, you know, I think it was after that week actually, he's like, you guys are battle tested, man. You guys are ready for the Pac-12. You guys have faced all these good teams. You might not have won, but you know, we kept them close in all these close games, and we're one pitch, one play, one big hit away from tying those games up or potentially winning them. So I think we're much more mature as a team now. I'm sure they are too, and they've grown and they've gone through their growth throughout the year. So it'll be fun to play them again.
This will be your third.
Talk about the maturity of the team. And similarly, how has the belief system of this squad evolved over the past few months?
Yeah, I think the belief is at an all-time high. I mean, we're super close as a group, and I think that goes into it. And just going through our experiences, the ups and downs throughout the whole year. It's a long year, and we've had a lot of like struggles and a lot of good times together, and I think that goes all into the belief that we have in one another.
This will be the third regional for you. What experiences from those first two can you carry over for this one?
To be honest with you, I haven't played in a regional where there hasn't been a weather delay, so I'm hoping that the Tucson regional provides some good weather for us. But going in, it's going to be a lot of good baseball. You can't overlook anybody. You got to play every game like it's your last, and we're excited.
Well, yeah, I mean, considering that the weather thing, I mean, when you find out you're playing here, it's like, well, you know what to expect from the weather. Like, how difficult was that maybe last year with the Arkansas one, where the second game you had no idea when that game was going to happen?
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, and even going back 2 years ago to Miami, it was like we were just sitting in their cages for hours, waiting to play, trying to stay ready. So I think there's definitely a benefit in playing here, and hopefully not having to deal with anything like that. But whatever happens and whatever's thrown at us, we'll be ready.
How have you guys been able to successfully encompass the transfers that have come in here? You've got Clark, you've got Blake, those guys that played at other schools and may only be here for 1 year, but you've been able to quickly bring them into this program and make them feel at home.
Yeah, I think credit goes first to our coaching staff. They brought in the right guys, and guys that we've needed, guys that fit into the culture, guys that get along with all the teammates. So credit to them. Doing a good job over the last year, bringing them here, and I'm happy those guys are here. But yeah, we're excited for this regional and excited to keep continuing the success we've had.
What's it been like playing in the middle infield with Mason this year?
It's been awesome. Mason and I have grown way closer than we were last year, and it's nice kind of just knowing we're both out there together every day.
On that last play against USC, was Mason supposed to go to first?
I don't know. The guy hit it pretty hard, and I kind of thought he was going to go throw it to first, but I
run to second.
I tried to run. Yeah, I was pretty far over in the hole, and there needs to be a little bit better communication for sure on that one. But we got the out and we got the win, so it's all good.
What do you remember about the West Virginia series from last year?
What I remember is JJ Weatherholt had a bunch of hits and a bunch of doubles, so we kind of learned that he was one of the best players in the country. But no, they're a really good, solid team, and they play together. They play their game. They're coached really well, so it's everything you expect out of a matchup in this time of year.
Thank you, Garen.
Yep, thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, questions for Emilio Corona.
Talk us through running around third and scoring that game-winning run.
Yeah, that was awesome. Just to get back out there, keep myself ready throughout the game. Obviously, Tommy Spillane with a huge hit. Just super fun time.
So where were you when you found out about hosting the regional?
I was at home, actually doing some homework. A little summer classes going on right now. And yeah, super excited. I mean, not having to travel is big. Going to be able to play in front of our home fans at least one more time, which is super fun, and I'm very grateful for because we have one of the best fan bases in the country.
Where are you right now with your hand, and how much can you do at this point?
My hand's feeling good. I'm going to just keep practicing every day this week and see what we can do every day and hopefully get better day by day.
If it turns out that you can only do a pinch run type situation, how do you approach that? Just I saw you a couple times during the last game running down the field, kind of stretching and all that.
Yeah.
Like, what goes into just being ready for that situation?
Yeah, no, it just comes down to being ready for the opportunities that you're given throughout the game. And if it happens to be that I'm only pinch running this weekend, then I'll continue to keep myself ready in those later game moments because I know the team will need me just as we did in the conference tournament. And all you can really do is prepare for your opportunities that you have and be the most prepared.
Did you expect to be in the top 16, or were you surprised?
I expected to be in the top 16. I think we are a top 16 team, and I think we proved that continuously throughout the year. And yeah, just as I said again, just awesome to be able to host and play in front of our fans again.
Considering how the results have been against Grand Canyon, how much should anyone take from those results, considering they were maybe midweeks and it wasn't the same pitchers or same scenario? Like, can those results really be looked at as a barometer?
I think Grand Canyon's a great team. They have a great coaching staff. They have a bunch of great players. We have a tremendous amount of respect for them. And so obviously in this tournament, it's only 64 teams. Everyone's going to be very talented, very good teams. you can't take anyone lightly, and we're going to be ready to go.
How has the team's belief in itself evolved over the course of the season?
I honestly think it's been pretty consistent. I think we were battle tested a lot early, went through some tough games, and I think just going through those as a team has kind of helped us grow. And winning a couple of those close games early on in the season, I think really was able to create this constant belief that we're in every ball game, no matter what the score and who we're playing.
Any more questions?
I was gonna. Garen said that Toby said that the Frisco series was kind of a turning point in that regard. That you had lost some really close games to good teams, and he came out of that saying, "You guys are battle tested." Do you feel that way too?
Yes, 100%. I mean, we played Dallas Baptist, Alabama, Indiana, a bunch of really good squads. And I think for just the whole team in general, with a lot of new guys, that was fantastic for us to get out there and play teams, not necessarily that we were going to see on the West Coast, a different brand of baseball, and just expose everyone to big environments, big games, big crowds. And I think you've really seen that kind of pay off in these big games down the stretch.
How important are runs that get produced often out rather than just constantly putting guys on base? You had 2 of those in the final, just a lot of like sac flies, RBI groundouts. How valuable are those?
Extremely valuable. I mean, we try. One of our big mottos is just to play offense. And part of offense is manufacturing runs any way you can. If those are sac bunts, sac flies, because at the end of the day, baseball, you just got to score more than the other team. And so anytime you can kind of chip away or add on to a lead, it's huge to get those 1-run innings, and then you'll wait for your big inning.
What in your mind has made this such a great team late in the game?
The culture that we've created this year, the belief that we have in each and every one of us, it's a big family environment in that clubhouse. And I think when you create a family environment, everybody has each other's backs, and no one ever is doubting one single person on the team, and you play for each other. And I think more than anything, it creates a fun atmosphere that it's enjoyable to be around every day.
What did it mean to you personally to score that winning run? Because right now you can't swing the bat, but you're able to do something like that. What did that mean to you to be able to kind of
I mean, it was awesome. I was just super grateful for the opportunity. I mean, our guys have done a wonderful job continuing to play this whole year. And yeah, it was special. I was just happy I could get out there and execute my opportunities, help our team.
Everybody goes to the hitter on those situations. I think it was Brandon that came and hugged you.
Yeah.
But what was that interaction like? What did he say? And what did it mean for you just to see him come in and make those catches that he made in that series with you not being able to?
Yeah, no, I mean, Brandon Rogers has been unbelievable in the outfield this year. And yeah, him coming up, giving me a big hug was awesome. I was kind of lost in the moment. It was just a special moment. Yeah, Tommy's playing. Everyone deserved to go hang out with that guy and celebrate. And that was super fun to kind of watch back. But yeah, once again, that's just kind of a culture thing we've created. I mean, you had guys coming up to me, everyone else with Tommy's playing, and then we all just kind of met up, and it's just, yeah, it's awesome.
I know it was a long time ago, but what do you remember about that West Virginia series from last year?
That they're a really talented ball club. They're coached very well, and they're going to compete. They're going to play any way they can. They're going to score. I remember they stole home a couple times on us last year, so we just got to be ready to go. You can't really take a pitch off.
So they've played here. GCU obviously has played here. Dallas Baptist hasn't. But when a team comes in to this park for the first time, what are the challenges that they face with the dimensions of this park?
I think the outfield play is big. I think the wall out here is really different. Just kind of the shapes and the angles you have to take in the outfield. And I think that plays a little bit to our advantage because we get to practice out here. And oftentimes you'll see teams maybe struggle just a little bit or take one bad route to a ball that maybe skips by them. And we capitalize on those because those are extra bases, extra runs scored, and all that.
Thank you, Emilio.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, questions for Dawson Netz.
You've been in a lot of these regionals in your career. What's it like? What do you maybe tell some of your teammates who might be experiencing this for the first time?
Yeah, anything goes. I think everyone's fired up. Doesn't matter if you're playing a mid-major, Power 5, everyone's just trying to survive. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, you just got to stay in every single game. You never know if you're going to have to win it in the 9th because, like I said, anything goes.
So you and Trevor would be the only people, I think, since the 50s and 60s at Arizona that play in 4 postseasons.
Wow.
I mean, does that kind of point to how difficult it is to get this far?
Yeah, for sure. I'm just very, very thankful guys even put us in this situation. I mean, we pray before every single game, and we've just prayed to be in this situation. And yeah, just very thankful that we can even play in the postseason, especially in front of our home crowd. We're just really fired up about it.
There have been some moments this season where things were not looking good. Maybe that New Mexico State game, you guys are 10-13. It's a rough game. How did the confidence stay there, even though the results weren't showing?
Yeah, I think it's because we had lofty goals and we always had our eyes set on something higher. And when you're playing at our level, everybody's good, you know? Like they're gonna roll into here, teams are gonna be fired up, and you're just not gonna have a good day. So biggest thing is to just turn the page, I guess, and just focus on what's next. We've been really good at being resilient and not gloating too much over that.
Did you pitch in all 3 of the GCU games?
That's a good question. 2 for sure.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
So, like the perspective of whereas maybe your hitters weren't facing all their best pitchers, like their starting pitchers, but you were facing their best hitters.
Mhm.
So, what do you remember from the lineup they have?
Yeah, I mean, they're just a really good squad. Hard ABs. They're always trying to beat us, you know, crosstown rivals. So, not taking anybody for granted in their lineup and going after them like anybody else, you know.
Is there help to having familiarity with their hitters?
For sure, and I think that's a two-edged sword. You know, they've seen us a lot, we've seen them a lot, so we both got a pretty good scouting report on both sides.
Dawson, as a relief pitcher, who's had a chance to sit back and watch comeback after comeback after comeback. I mean, what have you noticed about this team and the way that they operate offensively in the ninth inning to win these games?
Yeah, I think it's just ultimately that we're never out of any game, especially being able to play in front of our home crowd. Everyone's going to be fired up, and I think we feed off of their energy. So if anybody here is watching this, let's fill this place out because we really feed off of you guys. So let's get this place packed out and let's get the juice box going.
I guess when you got into that ninth inning the other night, was there any other thought that here we go again, we're going to win another one?
Yeah, and it was actually really nice too because it felt like a home game. Our fans travel so well, and everybody was just fired up on their feet, and we could really feel that.
Where has this resilience come from, you figure?
Yeah, I think it's just from our culture on the team just being really strong. Everybody's super bought in. Everybody just wants to win. Nobody's selfish. So we're really just focused on going as far as we can as a group, and that's not easy to do, especially when you got guys that are thinking about the draft every year. But we've been really good and gelled really well.
When you decided to come back for another year, were you hoping that, you know, something like this would happen?
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's everybody's dream.
Were you expecting to be in the top 16 after having won the conference tournament and the regular season, or would you say you were surprised to see it?
I will say, since being here for so long, I think you really see that anything can happen, and not really having any expectations, but just focusing on that game that's right in front of you and playing it as best as you possibly can.
How would you describe the overall pitching development this year under Kevin Vance that you've been part of?
Yeah, it's been very structured. I think it's nice that everybody has a plan. Everybody knows how to use their stuff. They know what their arsenal looks like, how to approach different hitters, and just ultimately what works best for each guy.
It's been a lot different than what you've experienced in previous years.
Yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate to be under some really good coaches and learned a bunch of philosophies, and I think that's helped me personally just really flourish this year and figure out what works best for me. But Coach Vance has been awesome, and he's done a really great job in making sure every guy knows what they need to do to get the best out of themselves.
Dawson, when Chip pulled you guys into the training room before the selection show, just describe the message that he gave to you.
Yeah, he just wanted us to know how special this is, to really cherish this moment. I mean, the season's flown by, and he's been so supportive. He's really let us older guys take the reins and just kind of figure out what we want this squad to look like and how we want to play, and yeah, ultimately that.
How have you guys, as an older guy, how have you managed the clubhouse? How have the veterans done that?
Yeah, I just think being very understanding, not being super emotional. Like if I have a bad outing, I can't get super emotional because I know guys are looking towards me for leadership, and I know Garen and Emo can attest to that also, but just keeping a level head and always focusing on the next game.
Is there one or two guys that, if you have to pull a younger teammate aside and send a message, are there one or two guys that generally do that?
You know, I think we're all very bought in to what we want to do and what we want our culture to look like. So I wouldn't say there's a specific group of guys, but I think a lot of guys have mutual respect for each other, where if anyone does and says something like that, everybody will listen to that.
What's been your role in this whole banana revolution thing that's going on here?
I think it all stems from GTW, greatest team wins, and that's just kind of been our motto this whole time. So really focused on that.
Yeah,
Was that
I heard that you were the one that requested extra bananas to be picked up during the Oregon State game.
Yeah, you know, it's just really helpful to help rally all the guys behind it, and I don't know, everyone just loves them. So
Yeah. Just it became a symbol when?
that's
Was it that ASU game when you guys started just doing that to Clark, or was it before that?
probably around then, I would say. But yeah, it's really caught fire, and everyone's bought in.
Who coined the greatest team wins again?
Greatest team wins. That's our trainer, Ben Kometz. Yeah.
Maybe you can only speak for yourself in this regard, but the bullpen really wasn't that taxed
Mhm.
over the weekend. Sometimes, like when you go through a tournament like that, like guys are pitching every day or whatever. You got the bullpen game on the front, and then you got great length from Clark and Cam. So how would you say the guys are feeling physically heading into the regional?
Yeah, like you said, I think having a solid and robust starting rotation like that goes deep into games frequently allows us to stay really fresh when other squads are pretty banged up right now. So we're all feeling really good and really excited.
Great. Thank you, Dawson.
Thank you.